Dzień dobry, witam bardzo serdecznie w kolejnym odcinku Zagrajmy w Genshin Impact. Dziś robimy Master's Day Off, Leo Minor Chapter, Akt pierwszy, When the West Wind Arise. Rozmawiaj z Sarą na temat problemu. Jakiego problemu? Zapytacie. Nie mam zielonego pojęcia.
Someone needs assistance. Oh, it's you! Over here! Over here! It's Sarah from the Good Hunter! Oh, finally, I caught you. I have something I'd like the Knights of 𝗵𝗵 to do for me, and I want you to pass on my request to the Acting Grand Master.
Oh, so it's Jean you were really hoping to see.
You are close with her. Really? It must be a good feeling knowing Jean's got your back.
Anyway, what was it you wanted us to tell Jean?
Oh, yes. I must apologize for being unable to visit the Knights in person, but the restaurant has been so busy lately. Unfortunately, it's right in this busy season that the route between here and Springvale, which is used for the delivery of our ingredients, seems to have been occupied by the 𝗴𝗏𝗃. The problem is that the suppliers in Springvale say that deliveries have nothing to do with them. They're just responsible for selling us the ingredients. That would be great. Please, ask Master Jean to send a party to clear out the 𝗴𝗏𝗃s from the road to Springvale. Help at last. With Jean on the case, this will be solved in no time. Thank you.
Seems like everyone really trusts Jean.
Oh, I nearly forgot. Charles the bartender said he's been having some trouble too. Why don't you stop by and see him on the way?
Fine. In for a penny, in for a pound, just a paimon way. But this is really stretching the definition of on the way, in my opinion.
Wystartowano z 𝗃𝗄. Talk to Charles. Kim jest, kurczę, Charles? Nie mam zielonego pojęcia. Kim ty jesteś? Cześć, Charles. Kim jesteś, Charles?
What do you think this is, kiddo? A fruit juice store?
Ty mówi do mnie Kido.
How rude, especially since we're here to help.
Help? Oh, yes. You're the acting grandmaster's new hotshot helper, aren't you?
That's one way of putting it, but...
Great. Tell Jean I need my quarterly tax return forms then. It's time to get 𝗍𝗲𝘀 onto doing the accounts again. I must say, though, the tax rate on alcohol in Mondstadt is pretty steep. Acting Grandmaster Jean personally goes over all the accounts. After all, the wine industry is Mondstadt's main source of income. Jean takes great pains to make sure no detail is overlooked.
Paimon never knew that. Jean's job is even harder than it seems.
The acting Grandmaster's hard work indeed makes our lives a whole lot easier. We're certainly very lucky, but to put it bluntly, we just take it for granted that that's the norm now.
Wow. How do you sleep at night knowing how much pressure you put Jean under?
When you put it like that, I do feel quite ashamed. I suppose I should give her one on the house next time she's here. Although, I doubt the acting Grandmaster even has the time to spare for that.
Sounds like a poor excuse to deny Jean a free drink. Come on, let's go and see Jean.
Dobra. No właśnie. Może by ktoś z nią spędził czas, a nie tylko wymagania i wymagania. Nie wiedziałem, że ma taką ciężką pracę.
Hey, you two!
Margaret? What are you doing here?
My cat's gone missing. Have you seen it? This is a bit worrying. What if Prince can't find his way home?
But we're on our way to an urgent meeting with Jean. Sorry.
You're on the way to see Jean? What a coincidence!
Paimon thought you were looking for a cat.
Yes, I wanted to see if Jean could help look for my cat.
Seriously? You want Jean, to help look for your cat?
What's wrong with that? Jean's a really nice person. Please mention it to Jean from me. I'll treat you to a brew at Cat's Tail later.
Hey! Hey! Ugh, unbelievable! Guess the case of Prince the Missing Cat is now added to the agenda for our meeting with Jean.
Wszyscy za nią łażą i chcą coś od niej chcą. Zadziwiające.
Acting Grandmaster? Oh, Master Jean?
Oh, it's our honorary knight. Sorry, I must have been daydreaming. How can I assist?
Actually, it's not us who need your help. It's a bunch of other people.
I see. Well, thank you for your service to the people of Mondstadt.
Ona jest chora. Pomóżcie jej.
Of these commissions in my files, and I will make arrangements accordingly.
Great! We didn't miss out on anyone's commissions, did we? Sarah's Hilly Churls, Charles' tax return, Margaret's cat. Seems that's everything. We'll be on our way then, Jean. Jean, are you okay?
Co, straciła przytomność? What the fuck? To jest muzyka pogrzebowa? Ona umarła?
How's Jean holding up? Is it serious?
A nie, dobra, żyje. Okej, luz.
From work stress. She'll be fine after a good old rest. Thanks for bringing her here. She may have tried to keep soldiering on otherwise.
It's not a surprise, though. She does have a lot to get through every day.
Poor Jean. She's always been one to push herself too hard while overlooking her own needs. This isn't the first time something like this has happened. Anyway, you're an honorary knight, aren't you? While the master is down, the knights should share her burden, no?
That's a very good point, but shouldn't one of the fully qualified knights do that?
Jean has so much to do. An extra pair of hands can't hurt. You should go and check in at the headquarters. Jean will be fine with just me here.
Paimon feels like she's trying to get rid of us.
Why is that?
Nothing. We'll leave you to it. Come on, let's go.
Dobra, działajmy. Czy to są takie questyki? Te story questy są takimi questami, w których mamy po prostu trochę poznać postacie, zobaczyć jak to wszystko działa. Dokąd mamy iść? Aż... A, niedaleko. My możemy za nią załatwić to wszystko. Lubię.
Oh, it's Kaya.
I've been waiting for you. I have been informed about Jean falling ill. On behalf of all of the Knights of 𝗃𝗏𝗏𝗏, allow me to express my sincere gratitude for your assistance.
So courteous and polite. This isn't the Kaya Paimon knows.
Well, the circumstances warrant it. This is the acting Grand Master herself we're talking about. Now, in addition to that thank you message, there was one other thing. It's like you read my mind. We have quite a connection, don't you think?
Things like helping to fill in for Jean.
Right. Although the commissions you reported to Jean have already been handed off to someone else, I am concerned that they will not be handled with due care without Jean's personal touch. So I am hoping that you can help out where you see fit. I will feel much more at ease knowing that the honorary knight is personally overseeing these cases.
You can flatter us all you want, but answer me this. Why don't you do it?
Oh, I have far more important matters to attend to. There are so many things to prepare.
Fine then. So it's Sarah, Charles, and Margaret's stuff you want us to help with, right?
Those are the ones. I appreciate the help. See
you later. Talk to Margaret.
So, yours is the cat that
No
went
jest, jak ja Wentiego dawno nie widziałem.
Auntie, have you come to help?
Me here to help you? Why, on the contrary, it is I who needs the helping.
But Paimon just saw you talking to Margaret about Prince.
Aha! So, Prince is the name of the feline fiend who thieved my spare astral iron strings. Though it gladdens my heart to see that the free-spirited ethos of Mondstadt is alive and well in creatures great and small, still, it's a bit audacious.
Prince is a mischievous little rascal, all right.
Indeed. Just like Barbados.
Yes, quite. Now, let's see about getting ourselves an audience with His Little Highness Prince Rascal of Mondstadt. I have a performance tonight, and without my spare strings, I shall have to disappoint my audience.
What would a kitty cat want with lyre strings anyway?
Everyone knows cats go crazy for a ball of string.
What?
These lyre strings are made of astral iron, which contains animo energy. That makes them extremely durable, so I normally just roll them up in a ball to make them easier to carry. That's a trick of the trade from a traveling bard.
The strings contain animo energy? That'll help us. It's time for you to use your elemental sight again. Paimon's sure there must be some elemental footprints or something.
Thank you all. Prince should be somewhere around the marketplace. It's a black cat you're looking for. Oh, take this fish. It's Little Prince's favorite food. Maybe it'll help you find him.
That's a nice haul.
L1?
Prince should be somewhere around the marketplace.
Czarna sierść. Może tu? A są jakieś ślady, pa. Jest.
Hey,
Jest.
look! Over there! It looks just like the cat Margaret was describing. So it must be Prince, right?
Kaj, znikł. What?
Wow, Prince has very keen senses. It didn't take much to scare him off. See if you can approach him crouching from behind. That way your footsteps will be quieter. It must be difficult not being able to float. If you're anxious to find Prince, why not coax him to you with some fish? Kitty cats do love eating fish. If you run out of fish, go grab some from the lake. Now back to it.
Minigierka w szukanie kota.
Prince should be somewhere around the market.
Aha, okej. Dobra, to wracam tam, będę szukał dalej. Aha. Okej, niepotrzebnie wracałem.
Mondstadt welcomes you.
His senses are keener than we thought. He can't have gone far, though. Why not track him with your elemental sight? Next time, try creeping up from behind. Quietly,
Dobra,
of
złapałem
course.
go.
Or, if you're feeling patient, use some fish as bait and catch him off guard. Someone needs assistance.
Nie było tak źle, spoko.
Prince! Where did you go running off to? Oh, thank goodness you're safe.
We definitely had our work cut out for us looking for him.
Oh, Princey, how could you leave me like that?
Looks like those two need some time to themselves. And here are your astral iron strings, Venti.
You found them! Wonderful! I was not optimistic they would turn up. I dare say that a private performance played using these very same strings would not be an excessive way to show my gratitude.
What?
Strzelaj na kota, nie gadaj nawet.
At this distance, my cat allergy seems to be rearing its head.
Nice.
Oh, now Paimon gets why you didn't go looking for your strings by yourself.
Anyway, thanks for the help. I'll be going now.
Dobra, i kogoś tu jeszcze mamy do połechtania. Rolls. O nie, tylko nie on. O nie, mamy jeszcze ją.
Lisa, are you here about the tax return?
Oh, hello, darling. You're quite right. After I heard about poor Jean, I thought I might lend a hand with some of her more literary duties.
Cool. Well, if we're no longer needed here, we'll be on our way.
Wait a moment. Actually, Charles here was wondering...
Please, allow me, ma'am. I just took a rather important order, but unfortunately we've run completely dry, and the delivery from the winery is behind schedule. If it's not too much trouble, could you go and do something about this logistical nuisance?
What's so urgent about this order?
It came in at the last minute. Literally just a few seconds ago.
Exactly. Hence the urgency.
Come in, take a seat. We have a few specials today at Angel's Share.
Talk to Ernest. Ernest, gdzie ty jesteś, powiedz mi? Tak daleko? Serio? Okej.
I'll catch up.
Crystal Core.
And away I go!
Wow.
Make my escape.
Balloon transport. No hej.
So this is where Charles's delivery disappeared to.
Have you come to rescue me? I've been waiting long enough. In all the time I've been working at the winery, this is the first time I've been robbed by 𝗧𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗄𝗃. If you'd taken any longer, I don't know what I would have done.
Fear not! My friend here is a 𝗧𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃 exterminator extraordinaire!
Just as well. Then please escort this transporter to the end of the road. And be careful with it. Just beating up the 𝗧𝗏𝗃𝗀𝗃𝗀𝗃 is not the aim here. You'd better make sure the goods stay intact because I certainly don't have the mora to replace them. I'll be waiting up ahead.
Make my escape.
Okej, czy oni mogą to zniszczyć w ogóle? Nie no, co ty? Nawet opcji nie ma.
I must leave no stone unturned.
A, właśnie. Blokada. A. Blokada. Okej. Więcej blokady. O.
Time to go! See?
Dobra, mamy. Za bardzo nie ma opcji, że oni to zniszczą, o ile to będzie się ruszało cały czas.
I'll catch up.
Zaraz tam je skupią, będzie gituwa. Właśnie, ważne. Oni nawet obrażeń nie zadają za bardzo, tak szczerze.
Gather!
As a dutiful maid would. Someone needs to... I'll catch up.
To nie jest związane z tym questem, niestety. Nie chciałem z nim gadać, naprawdę.
Thank you, my friend. I thought I was in deep trouble this time. It's a good thing you showed up.
Nie no, spoko. Polecam się, nic się nie przejmuj.
I'll put in a good word for you with the gentleman at the winery.
Dobra, w sumie... Taras Worries. Coś jeszcze? W sumie?
Can't catch me.
Got it. I'll set off right away.
Amber, are you here to help out with Jean's commission?
Oh, hi. Yeah, I was just getting ready. Who better than an outrider to mop up some 𝗧𝗲𝘀𝗃 on the delivery route?
Oh.
Sarah, what are you still stressing about? I'm an outrider, and I won't disappoint.
You misunderstand me. I don't doubt your abilities. I'm just overwhelmed at the number of orders piling up in front of me. Another bizarre order came in just now. It's like they're hosting a banquet or something. Really? You don't mind helping? That would be wonderful. You really are the good hunter's guardian angel.
Yeah, well, those 𝗧𝗲𝘀𝗃𝗀 are going to be a handful, too.
Well, why don't you take this order? Start by getting the ingredients.
Are you sure she can be trusted? It might end up tasting a bit funky.
We're well past the point of aiming for perfection. This is now a fight to save the good hunter's business.
A fight?
For this dish we need 3 sweet flowers and 3 fowls. Okay, go and get ready. You too, Amber. I'll be waiting here.
Oh, yes, right!
Today's recommendation is the steak.
Powinienem to
Have you brought me
mieć?
3 sweet flowers? Yep, that's everything. Now, order number 7 is for 1 sweet madame.
And so begins the story of us becoming basic kitchen hands.
You did say you'd help Good Hunter out. Be sure to serve it while it's hot. Any news on that sweet madame? 1 sweet madame received. This This smells absolutely divine. This is nothing less than what I would expect from a head chef, never mind a sous chef. Since you cook so well, you might as well take this sticky honey roast next.
Sticky honey roast? Paimon's sure she's heard Amber and Kaya mention this one before.
That's right, a mainstay of the Good Hunter menu. It's my pride and joy. The knights order it almost every time they come here for a gathering. Let me teach you the recipe for a sticky honey roast.
Wait, didn't you say it's your pride and joy? You're going to teach us how to make it? Just like that?
With your cooking skills, I don't think you will be doing a disservice to the Good Hunter brand. As soon as that sticky honey roast is ready, please bring it here.
Spoko.
I'm still waiting on one sticky...
O, nie mam tego. Sticky honey roast.
I'm still waiting on one sticky honey roast. Have you got it?
Nie, jeszcze nie. Które to może być? Czego mi brakuje? Cukru? Co to jest? Sugar. Cukru mi brakuje. Cukier to ona powinna
I'm
mieć.
still waiting on one sticky honey roast.
Masz cukier? Masz cukier, no to... O, co tu chodzi? Jezus, ledwo to mogę upiec.
I'm still waiting on one sticky honey...
Ja wiem, na co ty czekasz, spokojnie.
This is... Wow! Did you really cook this? This is quite simply astonishing! You were born to be a head chef.
Are we released from kitchen duty now?
Yes, thanks ever so much for your help. Amber should be able to take care of everything else. If you ever get tired of being an adventurer, there'll be a job waiting for you at Good Hunter if you want it.
Think we're
Spoko.
finally finished with the commissions we were doing for Jean.
Is the
A
steak.
day in the life of Jean really is hard work. Wonder how she's feeling now. Let's head to the cathedral and pay her a visit.
Dobra, turlam się.
I'm out of here. Huh. Make my escape.
Znaczy, nie mogę się teleportować bliżej, żeby być. No właśnie. No właśnie.
Make my escape.
A czy ten cel już nie jest oznaczony? W sumie? Czy to jest ten sam quest? Gdzie jest... A, jest Barbara.
Hi, Barbara. We're back.
Welcome back. You must be exhausted.
W sumie tak.
Jean has regained consciousness and should be back to her normal self soon enough.
That's great news. Let's go and see her.
But she just left the cathedral. I tried to tell her she needs more rest, but she wouldn't listen. She tried to act like she was fine and kept saying she wanted to get some fresh air. I bet you she's gone to Lady Vanessa's place again.
Where?
Oh, that huge tree at Windrise? That place is dedicated to Mondstadt's hero, Vanessa. Jean goes there whenever she feels lost and confused deep down inside.
Barbara, that's some pretty personal stuff. How do you know so much about Jean's innermost thoughts?
Jean, mentioned it to me, you know, before she left. That's what I'm worried about too. But I still have work to do here.
Don't worry, we'll take over nursing duty for now.
Great! That puts my mind at rest. May the Animo Archon protect you. And Jean.
Spoko. Gdzie jesteś? Jest!
Lady Vanessa, I hope your watch over Mondstadt remains unclouded. I do not know if I, or the rest of the world, as you had hoped for, have become stronger. Huh?
Hi, Jean. Are you feeling better now?
Much better. I was not expecting you to come here. Thank you for your concern.
Are you sure? We saw you beneath the tree just now, leaning on your sword. It looked like you were struggling. Are you sure you aren't pushing yourself too hard?
Oh, thank you. That means a lot to me. Hearing that boosts my spirits. But I must find a way to cope with minor setbacks like this on my own. Otherwise, how can I be the protector that Mondstadt needs me to be? The protector that Vanessa was.
You truly revere Vanessa, huh?
I do. Vanessa was the first Grandmaster, a kind yet formidable woman. I have always hoped to follow in her footsteps. As the Lionfang Knight, she courageously overthrew the oppressive ruling aristocracy of her time. Then, she founded the Knights of Favonius and became known as the Dandelion Knight, spreading grace and compassion throughout the land.
Dandelion Knight? Isn't that your title?
Actually, all of the Knights of Favonius Masters throughout the ages have inherited the title of Dandelion Knight or Lionfang Knight.
Oh, that makes sense now. You too want to be as gentle as the Dandelion Knight, and yet as fierce as the Lionfang Knight.
Yes, I know it sounds like a huge honor inheriting both these titles from Vanessa, but I see it more as a huge responsibility. After all, it is a lot to live up to.
Paimon thinks so too.
Huh?
Jean?
Who's there?
Caught red-handed. Finally, an opportunity comes to get rid of the master in a moment of weakness. And then you two show up and ruin everything.
How did they know about Jean's condition? Choosing this moment to strike is a low blow, even for this lot.
As long as my name is the Dandelion Knight, I swear I shall not be defeated by such despicable means.
Since this opportunity has slipped away, I shall now be
Stop! After him!
Jean, you're still recovering.
No, I must go after him.
Jean, you can't keep doing this to yourself. Why can't you trust us to handle it?
I do trust you, but to let an enemy get away like this would be a major dereliction of duty.
Fine, but at least let us go with you.
Thank you for your understanding. I will graciously accept your help.
No właśnie. Hands down. Ale będzie. Come on, come on. O kurwa.
Are you hurt? Ugh, darn him and his traps.
How badly are you hurt? Oh, one of my own being injured because of me is the last thing I would wish for. Let me handle this alone.
No, you are in no state to handle this alone. We're coming too.
Okay, but before we move out, at least let me heal everyone with my dandelion breeze.
Thanks. You're amazing.
I swear by my sword.
Wow, jakie zajebiste. Dobra, skrzynka zebrana, może biec dalej w sumie. No, bardzo podobny abyss jak ten poprzedni, powiem szczerze. Wygląda identyczny. O, to jest skrzynka. Nice. Nawet z jakiejś rewelacji. To jest bardzo powtarzalne. Nie wiem, czy jakoś bije, ja nic nie widzę, nic. O, jest ktoś. Miałem wysoki poziom i to trochę powoli idzie ich zabijać, ale to są te same gnojki, które mnie biły na początku gry. Znaczy ja rozumiem, w sensie nie chciałbym, żeby oni teraz mieli 5 życia i żebym ich zabijał na strzała. To w ogóle granie by minęło się z celem, ale szkoda, że oni po prostu się nie zmieniają też trochę jakby z lootem, żeby coś tu wypadało może z nich, albo żeby wyglądali trochę inaczej, wiecie, żeby jakaś taka była, wiecie, różnorodność. Tam gdzieś się nie spróbowali zabić, czy coś?
Stabilize!
Bo jak taka jakby energia do mnie leciała, to jakby oni chyba zginęli o ten ogień. Heh. Nice.
Higher, higher, pants on fire.
As a dutiful maid would.
Dobra, użyję tej specjalnej umiejętności.
Gather!
Fajna skrzyneczka, szkoda, że chroniona przez takich lamusów. Znaczy ogólnie ja już trochę przywykłem do tego genshinowego biedactwa, nie? Ale ogólnie to tak ogólnie śmieci dają w tych abyssach wszystkich, naprawdę, to jest... Jakby tutaj wypadają nam nasze jakieś takie pierdoły. No fajna skrzynka, ale to wciąż jakby tam nic nie ma w środku praktycznie. Projekt spika, jakieś 3 przedmioty na krzyż i siema.
Can't catch me.
Okej. Będzie boss, ty. Nice. No szkoda, że ten ult Noel użyłem, bo ogólnie by się teraz przydał, nie?
I must leave no stone unturned, as a good knight should.
O. Come on, bro. Come on. Chcę ci napierdzielić.
Leave it all to me.
Prawie.
Time to go.
Gather! This is order.
Oh yeah.
Thanks to Barbara's help, my condition is better than I thought.
The main thing is that you're safe. Now, isn't it time to get back to Mondstadt and rest, Acting Grandmaster?
Yes, I should at least go and thank Barbara again. I hope she's not upset with me.
Okej, tą skrzynię wziąłem. Czy jest jeszcze jakaś jedna? Nie. Barbara się pewnie martwiła. Ojejeju. Z dupa strony przybiegniemy, co nie? Klasyk.
Master, you finally returned. The Animo Archon protects you.
Swan, were you waiting for me? Has something happened?
Yes, at the Angel's Share. Don't worry, it's nothing big, but... Okay, I know I said it's nothing big, but... Alright, how can I put this? They just really need the Acting Grand Master.
Huh?
Well, if you say so, Swan, I will go. I should not let the other knights down. It's fine. Now that I have had the chance to stretch my legs, I feel much better.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. You really saved me on this one.
For goodness sake, what is happening to the world? Swan used to be the most honest fellow. Now he's dumping things onto Jean.
Well, Swan was clearly agitated. Maybe it is an emergency after all. Let's go and see what this is all about, shall we?
Shall we? No właśnie. Jak ona, dlaczego ona tu zniknęła? Fuck.
Oh, what's all this?
It's a thank you party for you.
A thank you party?
Thank you, party?
Jean, when we heard the news about your illness, we were all so worried about you.
We can only imagine how much pressure you must be under as acting Grand Master, and you do so much work all over Mondstadt.
We thought that since you so rarely take any time off, we'd take this chance to throw you a party. Enjoy yourself, Jean. After all, you'll never let us do this once you're back at work.
Jean? Huh? Is this Jean when she's shy? I've never seen her like this.
It's easy to forget that outside of work, Jean is just a normal person, like anyone else.
This is just all such a surprise. Thank you, everyone. This really means so much to me.
Well, it's nothing compared to the amount of work you do for all of us, day in and day out.
But there are so many things I still need to do.
Fear not. We wanted to make sure you could relax and enjoy yourself. So while you were away, we all pitched in and finished off your work for you. Every last task.
Did you really? Even the issue with the food deliveries?
It was no different from what we see on patrol. A couple of hilly churls. Didn't take much to get rid of them.
And the tax returns?
I spent so much time doing library admin. A few more pieces of paper to deal with was really nothing to worry about.
Well, what about Margaret's missing cat?
Are you kidding me?
That rascally prince was apprehended by the brilliant honorary knight. And he also reclaimed my precious astral iron strings while he was at it.
Enough already. No more thinking about work today. Enjoy yourself while you've got the chance.
It is my honor to work alongside you all. Praise be for the Animo Archon's guidance. Speaking of work, it must have been hard work to put all this together. Where did you find the time?
Actually, our friend here was the key organizer behind all of this.
Serio?
See all of this food and drink? He made sure it all arrived on time. Not only that, but he cooked each one of these beautiful dishes himself.
Co?
So relax already. There's no need to be so modest.
Na moje barki spadło.
Of course, we also have Master 𝗚𝗏 to thank for the venue. Otherwise, we would be looking at quite an alarming bill right about now.
Despite my initial reluctance to sponsor a Knights of Favonius event in any way, I, like any other citizen of Mondstadt, owe Jean my gratitude for her hard work.
Oh, Master 𝗚𝗏,
Oh, Master 𝗚𝗏.
Jean's supposed to be taking it easy. Stop crowding her.
Agreed. Now, let the party begin!
It looks like everyone seems to be partying hard. Paimon thinks we should join in the fun. Let's go and mingle.
Na drugie piętro mam do niej iść?
She saw Jean
Lol.
upstairs by herself. Let's make sure the woman of the hour doesn't get left out.
A co?
Oh, it is you. Yes, I am just getting some air.
Uh-oh. It seems like something's bothering Jean.
I want to thank you again. Either way, it is good to be here together with everyone. It has lifted my spirits. And it has taught me something.
What's that?
Że nikt jej nie potrzebuje.
I am definitely more of a dandelion knight than a lionfang knight. The lionfang knight represents Vanessa's past, a past in which she fought hard for Mondstadt.
But it was the dandelion knight that represented her hopes for the future, a future belonging to the newly formed Knights of Favonius.
To poradzili bez niej.
I do believe that Vanessa watches over us, whether from high up above or from the wind all around us. Let the wind lead. The winds of freedom will guide us along the path that lies ahead. I hope you will continue to join us on that path.
O, dało się skończyć. Nice. Nice. Jakby jej quest jest skończony. Tak. What? Dobrze. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie. Trzymajcie się. Do usłyszenia. No i cześć. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie mojego materiału. Mam nadzieję, że wam się podobało. Jeżeli wam się spodobało, pamiętajcie, żeby kliknąć kciuk w górę, zasubskrybować i kliknąć dzwoneczek. Wszystko, aby zawsze być na bieżąco. Jeżeli macie coś do napisania, napiszcie komentarz, dzięki temu będę wiedział, że jesteście, że wam się podoba i przede wszystkim, że chcecie, żeby tych materiałów pojawiało się więcej. Dodatkowo, jeżeli chcecie się wdzięczyć za to, co robię i podoba wam się moja praca, pamiętajcie, że możecie kliknąć w moją nazwę, wejdziecie do strony głównej mojego kanału, kliknąć opcję Wesprzyj i za 2 zł, 10 albo 30 zostaniesz wspierającymi według waszej tutaj chęci i potrzeby oddania trochę tej dobroci w moją stronę. Dziękuję bardzo za oglądanie, trzymajcie się, do usłyszenia. Bardzo serdecznie dziękuję wszelkim wspierającym za to, że jesteście. Dziękuję tym, którzy byliście wspierającymi i dziękuję wszystkim tym, którzy po tym właśnie filmiku zdecydowaliście się na wsparcie. Przede wszystkim to nie jest tak, że wspieracie osobę, która ma tysiące widzów. Wspieracie małą społeczność, której dzięki każdej osobie z was, każdej złotówce, którą mi przelejecie, każdym 2 złotym, które jesteście wspierającymi ptasiakami, za każdą tą jedną osobę bardzo serdecznie dziękuję i za każdą tą złotówkę dziękuję, ponieważ dzięki temu po prostu mam chęci, mam motywację i przede wszystkim mam dodatkowe finanse, które pozwalają utrzymać ten kanał i utrzymać wszystko, co się wokół niego dzieje, włącznie z kosztami prądu, kosztami kupowania nowego sprzętu, kupowania nowych gier i w ogóle całego czasu, które spędzam, czy to nagrywając, czy to streamując i czy to, jeżeli w przypadku wielu sytuacji rozmawiając i wspierając osoby, które w jakiś sposób czują się gorzej. Więc moja działalność jest bardzo szeroka i cieszę się, że doceniacie ją. Jeżeli ktoś z was czuje się gorzej i chciałby ze mną porozmawiać i ma jakieś takie problemy, możecie do mnie napisać, zagadać. Wszystko na Discordzie, a link do Discorda w opisie.